Rayla is set against herself at the start of The Dragon Prince. There is a very marked discrepancy between how she views herself and how she actually is. She says that she wants to be an assassin, serving the Moonshadow Elves, but her conscience won't allow her to even kill a random guard because she's so guilt-stricken that the guard hadn't personally done anything wrong to them. Rayla is athletic and disciplined. Physically, she can be an assassin easily. It's the mental side of the job that she's so against. Rayla really desires to be an assassin in order to protect herself against allegations that she's not loyal because her parents were wrongly said to have abandoned their posts and left instead of protecting the dragon egg when Viren came. Rayla claims to hate humans for their greed, their deception, their manipulative arrogance. But while she condemns dark magic, she's too compassionate and caring to despise humanity as a whole. What Rayla cannot do is prioritize abstract principles over her actual feelings and experiences, as much as she might espouse these principles. Her training and her acculturation say that she should not trust Callum, but all her interactions with Callum are positive. He's kind of dorky, but he's caring. He's trusting. He's open-minded. And he really wants what's best for her. And she knows that, even if she's hesitant to admit it at first. And in time, she finds herself even falling in love with this strange, open-hearted dork. Rayla is insecure. She's anxious about her inability to conform to the expectations set by her society. In Freudian terms, she's in the thrall of her superego, which is the part of ourselves that acts as a replacement for the physical, material directions of other people who want us to conform to social norms. For instance, you might not have a stern father figure telling you that you need to serve your country, but you have a version of that inside yourself in the superego that kind of pushes you towards serving your country, even if you personally have far more questions than answers about whether your country's behavior is even moral. As Freud discusses in Civilization and Its Discontents, being in the thrall of the superego does not make you more moral. It hardly even makes you more moral by the standards of that restrictive superego. Rather, it just means that when you inevitably fail to conform to the expectations that you've internalized through this superego, you feel bad about yourself. You feel that you don't really have a sense of worth. You feel like an outcast, an outsider. And this is exactly what happens to Rayla. She focuses on fighting because fighting is something she's good at. It's physical. It relates to the body. And it prevents her from having to take a step back and use her mind and think about what it is that she really wants for herself, what her ideals actually are, and whether they conform to the ideals that have been instilled into her by elf kind. And yet this division between the body and mind does not remain intact. Even though physically she's more than capable of killing as per her job as an assassin, her mind, meaning not just her reason, but all her values and convictions, that holds her back. The moral conundrum she yearns to escape instead comes into view. Rayla refuses to confront this problem, which is easier for her since she is not a particularly emotionally expressive person to start with. She has come to a crossroads wherein she has to decide whether she is going to continue believing in ideals that are so contrary to her actual feelings and experiences, or whether, by her actions, she is going to choose to depart from those ideals and face the consequences of doing so. These consequences being not only opposition from other elves, but also a loss of self, a confusion over who she even is. Her identity has been called into question. Now, if she managed to stifle her moral objections and conform to the path laid out for her by the elves, that existential crisis would be solved, but she will not and cannot act against convictions that she holds so deeply. This leaves her with only the choice of abandoning the elven hatred of humans and the life of violence they've been trying to coerce her into following. She can't do that. She won't do that for the elves. And this is the choice she wants to make when she finally sees the dragon egg after attempting to kill Callum and Ezrin. She's completely struck by wonder. Her stoic facade crumbles. Rayla is at her heart an idealist. She hopes for peace and a better and more prosperous world for everyone, and she wants to believe that's possible. She views the hatching of the egg as a miracle, and she does not want to let this miracle go to waste. Still, to commit herself to Callum and to bringing peace to the humans and elves means sacrificing, among other things, her chance to earn the approval of the elves, which is not an insignificant thing to Rayla. Because her parents were considered traitors, that it's implied is passed on to her, and she desperately does not want to be seen as a traitor too, so she acts in such a way that she will not be seen as a traitor. She follows the ideals and values of the elves, even when she disagrees with those ideals and values. She's tried so hard to prove that she does abide by those elven codes, that she is moral and just and loyal. And to turn away from the elves would be to throw away all that work. And yet Rayla finally proves herself willing to do just that. Not because she doesn't like her fellow elves. She has mixed opinions about a lot of them, and she loves some of them. She doesn't want to not be an elf, but she is not going to let herself be constrained by a moral system she finds rather reductionist and didactic. She is not going to commit herself to a moral system that she finds offensive to the complexities of real, actual experience. To do otherwise would be insulting. In Seasons 2 and 3, Rayla is in a cocoon. Not a physical cocoon like the one Eryth spins at the end of Season 3, but a moral and philosophical cocoon. Without her conscious knowledge, she's changing. She's becoming more willing to act on the ideals and ideas she believes are right and moral. Callum facilitates this change. Rayla has been used to censor. She's been used to people not respecting her perspective and what she has to say. So when she finds someone as supportive as Callum, she's taken aback. Callum does not push her in any particular direction, but he gives her the space she needs to reconsider why she believes what she believes and whether the ideals she professes line up with her actual personal convictions. She does not sever herself from her past, but she does abandon restrictive moral codes that she finds antagonistic toward her dreams of a brighter future, and this, I would say, is progress. She's able to set herself free. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince, or at least the first 3 seasons. Hopefully season 4 will come one of these days, but who knows. I'm not going to hold my breath. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon, promise you that. Thank you all again so much. Adios, comrades.